Welcome back everybody. Now today I'm comparing two highly rated blenders from two popular brands. We have the $90 Ninja Blast Max versus the $22 Hamilton Beach. Both of these are in the top 3 personal blenders on Amazon. The Hamilton Beach is corded, the Ninja Blast Max is cordless. Let's see how they compare in a round of head-to-head tests, but let's first flash back to the unboxings and see how that went. All right, let's take a look at these two here. First up, the Ninja Blast Max. All right, there it is, nice looking personal blender. We have instructions, we have a card here. Now I paid $89.99 for this. Currently has a 4.4 star rating among about 974 reviews. They claim you can bend, twist, and go with this powerful and personal blender. It has a twist and go detachable cup, 3 auto IQ presets, which I believe are right there. They are smoothie, crush, and blend. You can create up to 22 ounces of your favorite drink. Has a battery indicator, 13.3 volts, 0.75 amps. Reviews are mostly positive. A lot of people said that it was rugged, well built, and can pretty much blend through anything. The only real complaint I saw was that the battery life wasn't as good as expected. Let's read these over and get started. Let's take a look at this Hamilton Beach personal blender. I paid $21.99 for this. Currently has a 4.2 star rating among over 67,000 reviews. Pretty minimal instructions compared to the Ninja. They claim you can blend smoothies, shakes, and icy drinks in this 14-ounce travel jar. Comes with a drinking lid right there. To-go cup right here. Fits in most car cup holders, 175 watts, and these parts are dishwasher safe. Now people online who liked it, they love the size. They also like the ability to blend and drink from the same cup. Now people online who didn't like it, some people said it really wasn't as powerful as they expected. They said it struggled with icy drinks, while others said the lid is not leak proof. Take a look at the controls here. The Hamilton Beach has one touch operation. That's it. You just press that button, hold it down. Ninja has a few more options here. We have the center power button here, and then we have blend, crush, smoothie. I believe all of them run for 30 seconds. Blend runs nonstop. Crush and smoothie use their auto IQ. Both blenders have measurements on the side, but I do think the Hamilton Beach is a little bit easier to read, being in white. Ninja, not quite as easy to see. Something else on the Ninja that some people don't seem to like is the fact that it uses a proprietary cable where previous blenders used a USB-C port. Both blenders have detachable vessels. Ninja also detachable vessel. Let's take a look at the lids now. Hamilton Beach lid just kind of snaps on and you can slide it to open it up when you're on the go. Ninja's lid's a bit more solid. It screws on, there's a gasket there. We also have a handle as well, and there's a push button to open up the lid for easy drinking. Once again, Hamilton Beach plugs in, and the Ninja supposedly gets you about 15 blends per charge, but that's going to depend on what you're blending. There's a big difference between water and ice. Now, one thing I've noticed is a lot of blender reviews out there do smoothies, which that's great because it's a more real world situation. But on the other hand, you don't really see the results that well. So I'm going to try to do some tests that maybe aren't quite as real world, but give you a good visual of what the difference is between these two blenders. That's the plan, at least. For my first test, I'm going to try just seeing how it crushes ice. Now, both of these blenders, the instructions seem to imply you're not supposed to do it without water in there. So instead of just putting straight ice in there, I'm going to make it ice water and see how it crushes the ice there. I think I'm going to do these one at a time so I can focus my attention on each one. All right, I've got the Hamilton Beach to the minimum liquid line here. And I'm filled all the way up to the maximum, which I think that's a maximum. Since the Ninja's 30 seconds, let's go 30 seconds on this one. Well, after 15 seconds, it just kind of stopped. I think that's all we're going to get at 30 seconds. There's still some pieces of ice that are not even ground up at all. So it kind of just formed one big block and stayed there. It's just kind of a bit of a chunky mess. Not the best crushed ice I've ever seen, but nice try. Let's see what happens with the Ninja. I've got to the minimum liquid line here, and we seem to have it maxed out with ice as well. So I'm going to turn it on here, and we're going to press the crush button and see what happens. Can I let go of it? I can. Stopping and starting, that's good. All right, it seems to have stopped because now all 3 of these lights are lit up. Let's take a look here. Oh, much better. Look at that. There's no existing pieces of ice still. The Hamilton Beach kind of had a bunch of big chunks. There's no real big chunks in here, so I think it did a nice job with that. So I would say the Ninja probably won the first round, but we got a long way to go. So that was kind of an interesting test, not really a real world test. I don't think a lot of people make ice water in their blenders, My next test isn't really real world either, but it's something that I did way back in the BlendJet days, and I found that it'd be kind of useful for demonstrating how well a blender works. So let's set up for that one and see how the next test goes. Now for my next test, when I first did this one years ago, I thought it was kind of a dumb test, but after doing it a few times, I realized it's actually a really good one. So this is my baby carrot test. Let's check it out. Both blenders are filled to 200 milliliters of water. I will put 5 baby carrots in each. They are both locked and loaded. I'm going to use the blend cycle on the Ninja, and I'm going to hold down the Hamilton Beach for the same amount of time. Should be 30 seconds, should be interesting. And here we go. Let's strain these out and see what we've got. Hamilton Beach. And Ninja. We have a clear winner, but it's not the one I expected. Looking at the two of these, on the left is Hamilton Beach, on the right is Ninja. The Hamilton Beach, much finer, smaller chunks. Ninja, we've got partial carrot still in there. The Hamilton Beach absolutely won that round. Shocking. It's one for the ages. The $22 blender outperformed the $90 blender in this test. Although the Ninja seemed to win the ice test in round 1, so we're kind of even right now. We got to keep going. Now I can't compare blenders without doing a smoothie, right? So let's try that next. I've got these filled with coconut milk to the minimum fill line, half a banana each. Now we're going to fill the rest of the way up with frozen fruit. I think that's the maximum on this one. All right, snapping the top on the Hamilton Beach, which is a little bit trickier than the Ninja, which just screws on. I think about ready to go. So we're going to use the smoothie function on the Ninja, and we're going to hold the Hamilton Beach down the entire time. I think we're locked and loaded. Let's do it. Interesting. It seemed like both of these had a layer at the top that really wasn't getting pulled into the vortex. So we definitely have some fruit on the top here that needs to be mixed better. Hamilton Beach definitely has some big chunks in there as well. Let me stir these up and run them through a second cycle. Once again, smoothie versus blend. Oh, we have an issue here. I think that means it's overheated. I did about a half a cycle for each one of them. Let's see what difference we have here. Very disappointing on Ninja's part. I mean, it looks like a nice smoothie, I will say that. The consistency is perfect. The consistency is absolutely perfect. I'm not sure I have as good a consistency on the Hamilton Beach for this one. Let's see. Let's pour some of the Hamilton Beach into a glass here and see what we got. I wouldn't say there's any chunks that make this kind of a deal breaker. The consistency is pretty good. A couple bigger chunks, but overall a nice smoothie texture. Ninja next. That's a nice texture as well. Side-by-side comparison, I think the Ninja had a little bit more blueberries. That's why it's a different color. But the texture's pretty good. Hamilton Beach. I mean, texture-wise, they're pretty similar. I don't see a huge difference between the two of them. Neither one had big chunks. I would say probably a tie in this case. Let's get back to this overheated Ninja now. According to instructions, you have to wait an hour to use it after it overheats. So I'll come back in an hour and see if it still works. All right, let's see what we got here. Turning it on. Well, it doesn't look like it's orange anymore. I just put some water in here. Let's see if it actually blends anything. Here we go. That's a good sign. Well, it still works. That's a good thing. The overheating, that's rough, man. What happens if you're doing several things in a row and you get halfway through a smoothie and overheats? You're done. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge this back up and I'm gonna see how many blend cycles it does from a fresh charge, and hopefully it doesn't overheat then. So we'll come back after it charges up and see how many blends we can actually get out of it. And it overheated again. That might be an issue with this blender. This time I think it's red. I don't think that's orange. I think it's red, which means the battery's dead. So their claim of 15 blends is probably if you have no resistance whatsoever, you got some fruit in there, some ice, it's gonna be less. But let's wrap this thing up now, shall we? Now, I know a lot of people out there think I'm a Ninja fanboy, but I'm not a fan of this blender. That's right, I'm not. I am not a fan of the Ninja Blast Max. The fact that it's 90 bucks and just really tied a cheap corded blender does not bode well. Not only that, but you throw in the heating issue, which I didn't really notice the first time I perused the Amazon comments as being an issue. But when you search for overheating, you see a lot of them. In fact, look over here, there's a whole bunch of comments talking about overheating, sometimes as little as the first use. So I'm seeing an overheating issue with this as well. Now, it's probably fine if you're gonna take it with you and make one particular item, but it seems like the more you do in a row, the higher your chances are of overheating it. And when you overheat it, you're done for an hour. So even though my tests were really a tie, I'm gonna give it to the Hamilton Beach because it's way cheaper, does not overheat, there's no limitation of battery life. So to me, in this comparison, for my use, I'm taking the Hamilton Beach. I can certainly see a case where people might want to have something like this as rechargeable, more portable, but I don't. So in my case, I'm gonna stick with Hamilton Beach. And your mileage will certainly vary. But that's all I've got. If you've tried either one of these blenders, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.